皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So today everyone, I like to talk again a little bit about myself, but also I want to know if you might be this kind of person as well. To make a long story short, guys, if you remember, basically I kind of had a misunderstanding, not as much as a fight, but with my team members. Remember, I made a really what should I say, a sad, low tone podcast once talking about my frustrations towards Kazu and Tomoko not understanding what working as a freelancer is like, blah blah blah. But in the end, it was actually due to when Kazu and I went to an izakaya together before he came to Kyoto to work for me full time. Basically, when I asked him, are you excited that you're going to be able to work with us? And his answer was, I don't know. And that really hurt me, and from there on, I just constantly believed that Kazu did not want to come to work with me, but he had to because I asked him. Yeah, I mean, because I believed in that so much, I was just forcibly trying to think of logical reasons for him to work with me. And that became stricter and stricter, and it went the wrong way. But of course, again, as I explained in my previous podcast, we had a conversation. We all cried, we all said our honest feelings, and everything was solved. And this problem, of course, does not exist anymore. And of course, there could be some things that happen in the future, but right now we don't have any major problems within us anymore. We're definitely enjoying working together. We always have, and we will always definitely enjoy working together from now on as well. Now, when we had this incident, I think, because I had to be really, really honest with myself too, I think the most honest Shogo came out basically to talk with Kazu and Tomoko at that time, and I really feel that I am really, what should I say, evolving every day thanks to working with them. And one of the things is being myself, and not hiding my weak points to you, to my team members, and everything. And I personally feel that this is advancement. Yeah, and this incident within our team, and making a podcast and talking to you guys about this, I really felt that I have a personal characteristic, what I'm trying to say is that I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and in that YouTube video is actually another video by Nakatatsuhiko-san, which is, again, the very famous YouTuber who has 4.5 million subscribers in Japan, and he is the person who inspired me to start making the Shogo's Classroom videos. But anyways, he was once making a video talking about people who will be categorized in HSP. Have you guys heard of this before? It might be more well known outside of Japan, but HSP is basically stands for highly sensitive person. Highly sensitive person. It's said that 1 out of every 5 people will be categorized into this highly sensitive person, and these kind of people are basically, as just the name represents, they're basically more sensitive than compared to the other 4 out of 5 people. Yeah. So I like to have a list of the characteristics of highly sensitive people, HSPs. And by the way, HSP is not a sickness or a mental disorder or something. It's just a characteristic, It's just who they are. So it's not something that you can fix, by the way. That's one thing that you need to first of all keep in mind. But I just want to know, I want you to let me know in the comments if you are an HSP as well, because after reading this, after watching Nakata-san's video talking about HSP, I was like, oh, this is completely me. This is completely me. So number 1 is you tend to hate yourself. You tend to deny yourself. HSP people tend to have a very low self-esteem and always tend to attack him or herself. For example, if there's someone who is angry near them, they just automatically believe that person is angry. It's because it's their responsibility. Now, this is so true. This is so true. I tend to always have people believe that I'm a person who has a lot of confidence. And I do have rather okay amount of confidence now, thanks to all my team members, to my family, to YouTube, to you. all my friends who are always listening to me. Right now, you're listening to my podcast, although I'm not talking any, what should I say, any good English or anything, and my stories might not always be interesting, but you still taking the time to listen to this for me, right? You guys gave me the confidence that I needed. But before that, I was the person who had the least amount of confidence in whole Japan, to be honest. Of course, how could I gain confidence, right? You know, I came back to Japan from the US. I was bullied a lot, you know, and my parents, of course, were my father was, first of all, very brutal. He did a lot of physical physical bullying, which I say, aggressiveness. He literally did punch and kick me, and they got a divorce when I was in high school. You know, the only friend that I had in in elementary and middle school died when I was in high school, and so on and so forth. Like, how it was a pretty hard journey through being a teenager, right? So I really did not have any confidence at all. And even now, literally it says here, when someone is angry around me, I really feel that it's my fault sometimes. And I tend to go and ask them, is it something that I did wrong? And in most cases, of course, it's not, you know. But you do tend to think of it, yeah. And let's run through the other characteristics very quickly. Number 2, it's in Japanese. I'm sorry, I'm trying to translate this as I'm talking. You don't like big groups. Well, basically, to make a long story short, you don't like big groups. You don't like rumors either. Yeah. People who have HSP tend to like to communicate one-on-one, but do not like big groups. This is me. And they don't like where there's a lot of people, like in the cities and so on and so forth. You know, this is literally me. I really do not like big groups at all. Since when I was a student, again, you know, I had only one best friend, right, in middle school. That's exactly what represents this characteristic of me. Yeah. Number 3, even small sounds, what should I say, distracts you and you can't concentrate. This is literally me too. I am Harumi, my wife, has a lot of concentration. She's the kind of person who just, once she starts concentrating on something, she can't see anything else anymore kind of person. I am the completely other way around. Even when I'm writing a script for a video, even when I'm preparing for a show with Classroom, something that comes into my eye or comes into my ear, I am completely my concentration just ends there. So basically my concentration ends every 10 to 15 seconds. And that's the reason why I turn off all of my notifications on my applications. I first of all don't hardly have any applications on my phone. I turn off every notification on my computer, on my phone, everything. If I don't do that, I can't concentrate at all. So this is another characteristic of me. Let me just, there's so much more. I'm already talking about 9 minutes. I gotta really quickly do this. Number 4, it takes time to decide things. Number 5, you cannot reject something that someone has asked you to do. If someone asks you a favor, you can't reject it. Number 6, when your schedule suddenly changes, you panic. This is so me. And number 7, you like being on your own. And number 8, you are, how do you say this? You really have a real high sense of understanding something quickly. I'm trying to translate it right now in translation machine. Intuitive, it says here. Intuitive. This is completely me as well. Completely me. The reason why I take this in a positive way, the reason why I was able to get number 1 on TripAdvisor for culture activities in the category there in Kyoto Samurai Experience when I was working there, number 3 in whole Japan, was definitely because I was able to notice the small changes in the facial expressions of my guests. Because I was able to realize those things, I was able to ask, are you feeling okay? Did you not understand a part of this? Were you not enjoying this part? And because I would notice these small changes, I would be able to go and communicate with them and notice what they're not satisfied with. Yeah. So I take this as a really good thing. Yeah. But this is definitely me. So thanks to working with Kazu and Tomoko, as a conclusion, thanks to working with Tomoko and Kazu, I have definitely found out a new side of me. I mean, I always had these characteristics in my life. And to be honest, the most important point is that I've been denying these things. I've always thought that these characteristics that I have in my personality are bad things. right? But it's not bad, it's not good or bad, it's just who I am. And this HSP, the science that proved it, it says on a psychologist in America, in the US, has proven this idea on of HSP, and it really has changed me, has saved my life to now being able to believe that, oh, okay, so this is just simply who I am, and that's okay. Because I have been able to, by the way, HSP is something that you can change. Of course, it is a trait that you have, but you can change it. Like, it's like on anything else, like something physical too. Like, you might tend to do this, but you can gradually change it, right? If you train or practice. So there are some things among the 8 characteristics that are written here that I don't belong to. For example, number 5, you're not able to reject the things that people ask you to do. I can. I can reject the things that people ask me to do. And this is because I have a responsibility to protect my family, to protect my team members, right? If I'm wasting my time, that means I have a less chance of protecting my family and my team members. So this I was able to change because of a new environment. I talked about this in my podcast before, that the only way for you to change it is to change your environment, right? And number 4, it takes time to decide things. I don't belong to this either. Because if I take too much time to decide things, I can't be a leader, right? So these few things was true in me. When I was younger, this was absolutely true, but now I don't have it anymore. So I am definitely gradually changing. And one of the biggest things that really helped me understand that I am an HSP person is that there are a lot of occasions where I have to tell my team members that, of course, because I'm a leader, I have sometimes had to tell them that for example, it might be your attitude towards work, or not attitude towards, I mean, their attitude towards work isn't a problem. The way they communicate with me. For example, they might be expiring their due date to get a task done. And sometimes, like, for example, it might be Kazu or Tomoko, they just submit the work to me without saying anything. Now, that is not something that a professional should do, right? If you're late for a paper or whatever it is, it could be any job, you should explain why you were late and how you're going to be preventing that from happening again in the future, right? And so I need to tell these things to them. I need to say these things because, again, I have the responsibility to protect their lives if everything doesn't go on schedule. And this schedule is something that we all decided together as a team. So when everyone doesn't work together, everything will collapse. So I need to protect that because I care about them. I love them. So there are some times that I have to still tell them. Of course, all the troubles are all gone now. So when I say it, it's much easier than in the past. But still, it does hurt me every time. And I'm always really, really, really scared when I say these things. Oh, Kazu and Tomoko might hate me, or, oh, maybe the way I said it might not have been so good. Or what if I have a lot of flaws that they actually are thinking inside their head, and I just haven't noticed it, and they actually might be saying things behind my back, that kind of stuff. I'm always terrified, to be honest. I'm always really scared that someday soon, that they might think that, I'm not going to be working with Shogo anymore because he just constantly tells me these things. Not constantly, but sometimes tells me these things, and I'm really frustrated, and it just really irritates me. Of course, to be honest, they are not thinking these things. If they are, they told me straightforward to my face that they said that if we were irritated, if we were frustrated by everything that you say, if we didn't trust you 100%, if we didn't respect you 100%, we wouldn't be here, Shogo. Please have confidence. They said this to me, to my face, right in my face, and this gave me so much this really helped me a lot. Yeah. It made my life so much better. And just understanding that I'm HSP, and of course it still will hurt. There are still things that I struggle with, and especially being on the internet, and being a so-called influencer and everything. There are a lot of things that still hurt me, but still, I just wanted to share this information with you. And if you haven't heard of this idea before, HSP, and if you haven't heard of the characteristics before, I wanted to share with you, and wanted to say that if you are an HSP person too, I just wanted to say that you are you, and you can be you, and you are great as who you are. And you just have to, just like you might have longer arms, or shorter legs, or whatever, like stuff like that. It's something that you just have to adapt to, and just understand, adapt to, and that's it. So I just wanted to share this information with you and say that we could all be ourselves, yeah. And I will try my best to enjoy being myself as well. So then everyone, as I always say, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know there's a lot of people studying Japanese willing to come to Japan to travel, study, or work, or even train in our traditional culture and such. However, I am very afraid that Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future because we're facing a lot of social problems, we are losing our traditional culture, and the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on the good things about Japan are dying because of all the social issues being shoved against them. So I really want to dedicate my life to try to make Japan a better place. I want to try to solve the social problems, preserve and evolve traditional culture, and also help out the younger generations so they can have a brighter future. And to do that, the nearest goal I have right now is to achieve 2 million subscribers by January 2023 on my main channel, so all your likes and comments will help to boost my videos. New viewers have never seen my channel before, so it'd be great if you can help me out. Thank you so much, guys. And on all the other things that we're working on right now, especially the merchandise, the creating the merchandise and the designs and everything is getting more and more exciting right now. I'll still keep it a secret to you guys. I will definitely keep you updated as soon as possible, though. We don't know exactly how it's going to be happening from here, but it is getting really excited, so I hope you can look forward to that. And yeah, we're going to be still enjoying our stage performances and everything, and I just really enjoy every day. Alright guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.